Greetings. Just want to make a quick video to talk about some concepts, some terms that I'd like to encourage people to think about, to look at, to become aware of. First one, well, a couple of them we are aware of. The first one is child abuse. The second one is a deadbeat parent. The third one is parental alienation. Now, very quickly, two of these phrases, child abuse and deadbeat parent, socially, we've already been conditioned, sometimes with great reason, to think about men or fathers when we say deadbeat a parent or an abusive parent or child abuse. We see that being recorded as a dominant behavior pattern of men, and we also see it even when it's not necessarily the dominant behavior of the male parent. We automatically ascribe it to the male parent. But what is the language we use when we have the mother of our children who has a unnatural sense of power, who is abusive of power or neglectful of the needs, the holistic needs of a child that came into life by the means of a mother and a father with the ordination, if you will, or the blessing and the favor of the universe and the creator thereof. What's the term we use to talk about mothers? We know the terms to talk about fathers, but why is it tough to have a conversation about mothers? You know, in my experience in doing workshops and trainings and counselings, etc., I can be as vociferous, as passionate, as intense, as grinding as I can, as I can be with the therapeutic, educational intent with groups of men, and not experience much resistance, not experience much defensiveness. But I find in my experience of having the opportunity to talk almost exclusively to women groups or female groups or mothers, that when we try to examine or dissect or assess the possibilities of a mother being guilty of some level of abuse or neglect, there is tremendous resistance, hostility, bitterness, vitriol. This is just my experience. And I've had quite a few opportunities to engage mothers and women about these sensitive matters. And just from my experience, my observation around this, there's a lot of resistance. So I want you to think about these terms: child abuse, deadbeat parent, parental alienation. Ask yourself if we can identify which term or terms represent generally the dominant behaviors of fathers or men who are parents, which term represents the dominant behavior, mindset, if you will, practices of mothers. Can you ask yourself that question? Can you look at yourself as a mother? Can you, as a father, look at your wife, your significant other, the mother of your children, and do an objective assessment as to whether or not that mother may be practicing some of these paradigms in the rearing of children? It's just a question I like to pose, and in subsequent videos I intend to try my best to delve deeply into this material, because it is a conversation that someone needs to have the courage to have. I know it's politically incorrect to criticize women. It's politically dangerous, so to speak, to challenge women about their behaviors and their pathologies. And it's much more socially acceptable to beat up on fathers and men. But I'm going to cross that river of that Red Sea and see if we can stimulate some growth, some healing, and some restoration of the rights and privileges of children that exist when all things are in proper order.